Tesla has opened up their supercharger network to other non-Tesla EVs, including BMWs. And today, I'm going to show you how to charge your BMW car, like this i4, at the Tesla Supercharger network. Let's dive right in. So this is the Lectron Vortex Plus. It's an update to the first Vortex adapter they've had. It's high quality, it's well built, and I've used it over the last few weeks with no issues whatsoever. As you can see on this side, you have the NACS or NACS port from the Tesla charger, and on the other side you have the CCS, which goes into the BMW i4. So I'm going to show you how to connect the two in 1 second. So all you have to do is just unplug the charger. As you can see right there, snaps right in. Nice and tight. As you can see on the bottom right here, this is how you disconnect the adapter from the cable. Hold down, slides out right there, and you can see there is also a button on top, a switch. You hold that down to disconnect from the car. So let's go give it a try. Now all you have to do is this, put it in, snaps right in, and as you can see, it's all connected. As I said, to disconnect, all you have to do is just hold down on the top and it slides right out. If you own a Tesla, then you might know that there are different types of Tesla supercharger networks, V2, V3, and V4, for example. Aside from the charging power and all of that, there is a major difference. Some older charging stations actually have the charging cable on the left side of the car because Teslas, they do come with the charging port on that side. In this case, this is a pretty smart location where you have charging ports on the left side to charge Teslas and other brands, but you also have a charging cable on the right side of the station, which allows me to occupy a single space and be able to easily charge this BMW i4. But can you charge all BMW cars at Tesla supercharger networks? Not yet. There is a caveat. For example, I have a BMW iX xDrive 40 at home, which needs a software update before I can charge the car at the Tesla supercharger network. Same applies for the BMW i5. I got in touch with BMW USA and they told me that we should have that update within a month or two pushed to the car, and that's going to allow you to charge the car right here. So how do you know if you have the right software update? Well, in my case, I went to the My BMW app, I chose the i4 profile first, I went to the charging section, and I noticed that there is a section where I can add a DC or AC adapter. But when I went to the BMW iX profile, there was no such section. So this is when I reached out to BMW USA to ask why. I've seen some reports online from customers saying that even if you don't have the option to add the DC adapter in your app, if you go to the charging station and you plug in and you use the Tesla app, it might actually work. Also, once you added the adapter in the My BMW app, you can now go and filter by charging stations, and the app will tell you which Tesla supercharger network works with BMW cars. There are two methods on how you can charge your BMW at a Tesla supercharger network. Number one, using the plug and charge contract in your car. You go to the My BMW app first, you set up the Shell recharge contract, and that's going to transfer to the car's system as well. Then you should see in the My BMW app and also inside the car when the car will start charging. Method number two, you're going to use the Tesla app. You're going to come to the station, and now all you have to do is just go to the Tesla app, find the charging station, select the right stall, like right there, 4A, and then it's going to start charging. There are different pricing points. For example, it's on peak right now, I'm paying about 63 cents, but if you charge off peak, it drops to around 30-something cents. You can also sign up for a Tesla monthly plan, and that's going to lower your cost per kilowatt. Now let me give you some more specs on this Lectron Vortex Plus. It's rated at 500 amps. The rated input and output, it's 1000 volts. As you can see, it's weatherproof rating, it's IP67, and the ideal operating temperatures will be in between -22 Fahrenheit and 122 Fahrenheit. Just like with charging in general, the ideal temperature when you charge will be in the maybe 70s to 80 degrees. That's when you get the most optimal charging rate. But what happens if the adapter gets a little bit warm? Well, it has a built-in mechanism which will reduce the charging power. If it gets too hot, it will completely shut down the charging process. It weighs about 2.1 pounds. It's not lightweight by any means, but that stands to show how well made this adapter is. This is also an SGS approved device, which means that it went through a rigorous safety process. I've been talking to Electron about this product quite a bit in the last few weeks, and they definitely stand behind their product. They even told me go ahead, drop it on the floor a few times and see if it still works. So in the next video, I'm going to do that test. I'm even going to maybe roll over the adapter with the car and see if I can still charge my BMW i4 after that. So even though it's quite cold outside, in the 30 Fahrenheit range, this adapter worked quite well, and I haven't seen any difference in the charging curve compared to charging at a regular CCS network. Now to disconnect, you can simply push on this Tesla button right there, and now it tells you that you can disconnect from the car, push down from the top, pull it out, and that's it. So this was a quick tutorial on how to charge your BMW car at a Tesla Supercharger network. Now finally, you have access to thousands of stations around the country, so there is no reason why you shouldn't be able to take a very long trip, because in between the Tesla Supercharger network, the Iona, which is expanding quite a bit, Electrify America and others, there should be plenty of options to charge your BMW car. If you're experiencing any glitches, any issues with the charging process at a Tesla Supercharger network, please let me know in the comments section below. I'm gonna make sure to reply to them, and if you need to get an answer on some particular issues, I can take those comments, that feedback, and send it to the BMW charging team in the US. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with the Lectron Vortex Plus, where we're gonna put that charger to a real test.